UFC London this weekend. We've got a decent card. I'm going to give you my quick thoughts, breakdowns on most of the fights, and then I'll show you what bet I'm looking to put on at the end. Coming off a win on Cage Warriors last Saturday, we got like a 12-1 ACCA what come in. So hopefully we can keep that rolling this weekend. I will be doing my Cage Warriors picks for Friday when the odds come out. So you'll probably see that video tomorrow. Keep an eye peeled for that if you wanna see what my picks are for Cage Warriors. But I usually do better, to be fair, than what I do on the UFC. I did say I'm not gonna do many UFCs anymore. I think like YouTube's just oversaturated with prediction videos and picks, and it's not really worth doing it. But if you do like them, then let me know, like and subscribe, and then it might motivate me to keep doing them. You never know. Anyway, scrolling down, we're gonna skip the first two fights. I'm not betting on women's MMA anymore. Always let me down. It's like too unpredictable. So we're gonna start with Shamrock versus Al Sawadi. Shamrock, tough debut against Aliev. Did really try. He come out in the second and third, and he had his little moments, but just wasn't able to do anything really against Aliev. But that's a tough debut to have. El Sawadi, he lost his last fight as well against Radzhabov. It's a 50-50 fight, this. I can't really see where it's going to go, so I definitely won't be betting on it. Hopefully Shamrock can get the win, but I won't be surprised either way, to be honest. And I think there's a few fights like this early on, so I'm going to skim through them quick. I've had to pick Shamrock, but 50-50. Louis Sutherland versus Perisic. Louis Sutherland looks big guy here on this picture, but he's not like that anymore. It must be off the gear now, even though a lot of people are getting away with being on gear, it seems, in the UFC again, since they got rid of USADA. So you never know, he could be back on it. Lost his last fight again. He looked towards Volta Walker, like it was like his third in a row, wasn't it? It's coming up against Brandon Perisic here. Pretty good striker, fighting out of City Kickboxing, and I think he should get the win here against Louis Sutherland. Sutherland 10-4, and he's fought on some decent level regional shows, but is that going to translate over now into the high level? And big guys, anything can happen, but I do think Perisic should edge it and probably get the KO on the feet, I reckon. If not, just outpoint him. Next fight, you got Antonio Tricoli versus Mantas Kondratavicius. That's about as good as you're getting it from me. So I'm just going to call him Mantas now. I think 8-1, Mantas should get the win here. Coming off a decent win on the Contender Series and some good wins in Cage Warriors and other regional shows before that. A loss on Aries. Not watched it, so I don't really know how it went, but Tricoli seems to be on the way out now. Mantas, new young fighter, 26, coming in. Should get the win here, I reckon, against Tricoli. So not spending too much time on that. Mario Pinto versus Felipe Franco. Felipe Franco is a late notice replacement coming against Pinto, and Pinto's looked decent in his last couple of fights. Better than I thought he might have. I didn't give him the credit he deserved, because in the regional scene he was just fighting cans and that, people who he just got given to beat on shows what weren't so good. Other than the Levels Fight League, I mean before that, like early on in his career. But I've been impressed with him in his last couple of fights against Austin Lane and Jonata Deniz, and I expect him to just smoke Felipe Franco here, who's not on his level. So that's that one. Next, interesting fight, this one. Nathaniel Wood versus Losen Keita. Keita coming from Octagon, probably the best promotion in Europe at the minute, filling stadiums, good fight at 50-50 fights, and he's 16-1, but that one loss was due to injury. I think he hurt his leg, got his kick checked, and broke something there. He's coming up against Nathaniel Wood, who's been around a long time now, very experienced, coming off two good wins against Delgado and Charrier. The Delgado fight, you could say the similarities here between Delgado and Keita. And Wood managed to get the win there, but he got hurt in that fight. And if I remember rightly, he got hurt against Morgan Charrier as well. And it's like he just squeaked away to get to the takedown and get his grappling going. And one more punch and it could have been over for Nathaniel Wood. So I am going to lean Keita here, but I wouldn't be surprised if Nathaniel Wood just managed to scram the shots and get hold of him and get his grappling going. So I won't be betting on it. Cater coming down in weight as well from lightweight. He has fought at featherweight before, but I expect him to be the way bigger man against Wood. But like I say, Delgado, he's a tall, lanky bastard as well, isn't he? And he managed to beat him. So, and Charrier is like a bit of a beast. So he's definitely experienced the body shapes and sizes Nathaniel Wood before, and I won't be surprised if he gets to win. But I think he could get clipped as well. So I won't be betting on this fight. Just watch it. If I had to pick, maybe I'd go Cater, but like good underdog Nathaniel Wood if you wanted a little gamble on him. Next fight, you've got Mason Jones versus Axel Soler. Mason Jones, I've always rated him. He's tough, Mason Jones, and he's good striking, good grappling. Just probably, I don't know if he's got the fight IQ to like make it to championship level in the UFC. To be fair, like you've gotta fight smart, not fight tough. Even though fighting tough works for some people, but I don't know, man. Especially not in welterweight. I think that's probably better for the higher weight classes. And he's coming up against Axel Soler here. Don't know too much about him. I can't really remember this fight against Reece McKee. Even though he's got a solid record, Reece McKee, he's still a good fighter. So, like, it's a good win in my eyes, getting a win over a KO TK over Reece McKee because he's very durable, very tough. So I'm not really sure in this fight. Like I say, I can't remember much of Axel Soler. I would probably side with Jones, but I'm not going to be betting on it. Next fight, Curtis Campbell versus Danny Silva. I think I will be betting on this fight. He's a favourite, Curtis Campbell, but I think rightly so. Probably one of the best prospects coming out of the UK at the minute for this like time. Very good, and he's got that will. Like he's going to be very hard to break Curtis Campbell. He'll just keep scrapping, and Danny Silva's just scrapping himself. Lost a close decision. Well, I don't know if it was close, but he hung in there and did well with Kevin Vallejos, like better than Josh Emmett did recently. So he is tough in his own right, Danny Silva, but I think Curtis Campbell's grappling, he'll be able to get it going, and then he's just tenacious with it, ground and pound, and I can see him just like beating up Danny Silva for 3 rounds, if not getting like a rear naked choke from like beating him up and then giving his back and getting a choke. I think, like I said, Curtis Campbell is just one of the best prospects coming out of the UK at the minute, even though before the Contender Series he was only fighting on FCC, and FCC do bring your opponents in to beat. Like you're seeing that a lot. But he has beat some tough guys in there as well. Definitely a step up in competition for him. But I think he's capable of it. I think mentally he's very strong, and I expect him to grind out a win here and perhaps even get a finish maybe. So I will be betting on that one, I think. Next fight, Roman Dolidze versus Christian Leroy Duncan. CLD, he's doing good things, isn't he, on a 3-fight winning streak. 1 over Tulio, Eric Anders, and Pelayev. And then last loss was against Gregory Rodriguez, who's doing good things. Yeah, he's very good, CLD. Great striker, but I think he's explosive enough and got decent enough grappling, like defensively, to hold his own and like get back to the feet. Like he's decent in the clinch, and he's strong and he's big. Roman Dolidze, though, his grappling could be a problem. He's definitely like capable of getting a win here against Duncan if he can get his grappling going. But I think he's just going to be too athletic, Christian Leroy Duncan. I think he's going to be able to negate the wrestling of Roman Dolidze and just beat him up on the feet, maybe even like get a finish. So I'm going to side with CLD in this fight, even though I would not be surprised that I can see a world where Dolidze does get the win. Next fight, Ivo Baranevsky versus Austin Lane. Not much to say on this one, is there? Evo looks really good in his last fight against Ibo Aslan, but Aslan's not the best. That was a cracking fight, cracking round of MMA, like very entertaining. And he looked good in the Contender Series before that, where people thought he might lose that fight against Muhammad Ali, but he smoked him, didn't he? He's got good power, Evo, and he's got good grappling as well to back it up. A lot shorter than Austin Lane, and the big guys, anything can happen, can't it? He's coming down in weight, Austin Lane, but I just see him getting overhand, right, chinned, and dropped. Yeah, I think it's going to be another bad loss for Austin Lane. And I think, even though he's a big favourite, Evo, I think we're going to put on like a like a big favourite acca on this one. We'll see. So next fight, you've got Michael Page versus Sam Patterson. Another interesting fight here. I believe they've trained together in the past, these two. So that is interesting. Like, maybe Sam Patterson's had moments in sparring where he's done good things against Michael Page, and it's given him the confidence to take this fight. I think it's a win-win really for Sam Patterson. I don't think many people expect him to win, so he's probably thinking, if I lose, so what? I'll give it a crack. I've done good things in the gym with him, but it's different, isn't it? Sparring is different from fighting, so I feel like Michael Venom Page is going to be too much for him, especially if Sam Patterson tries to stand with him. He gets hit, Sam Patterson. He's been chinned before, like he's been put out bad. I know that was down a weight class. He might be a bit more durable at welterweight, but it's Michael Venom Page, man. You know what I mean? I do see like a highlight reel coming for him here in this fight against Sam Patterson. Like, just because it might work for Sam Patterson that they sparred before and he knows what to expect, I think Venom Page is like a game day fighter. Like, he's not going to be doing half the shit he's doing on fight night in the gym, you know, like all the showboating. I think that might get to Patterson mentally as well. I don't know. I just can't see him losing here against Sam Patterson. And like, if you look at Venom Page's last few wins, Jared Cannonier, Sharon Magomedov, decision loss to Gary, where Gary didn't do much. Kevin Holland, you know what I mean? These are, well, especially Cannonier and Magomedov, big guys. Like Cannonier, like if Cannonier can't get his grappling going against Michael Venom Page, is Sam Patterson going to be able to? The level of competition is way different. Like Trey Waters, Danny Barlow, and even though they got good records, they've kind of been found out, these guys now in the UFC level. And then Kiefer Crosby before that, it's like, yeah, impressive looking wins, but really not the level of guys who Venom Page has been fighting. So gonna go with Michael Venom Page in that fight. Next, we've got Luke Riley versus Michael Aswell Jr. I like Luke Riley and I think he's entertaining. I think it is a bit mad how it's co-main event, but it's like I like Luke Riley, so I'm not too fussed about it. But I can see why people are asked about it. 12-0, very good, like entertaining style. That's definitely why he is the co-main event. It's very entertaining. He's coming up against Michael Aswell Jr., who's like got a win-loss, win-loss-win. So a bit of a mixed record. But he's capable, Michael Aswell, and you know he's got alright stand-up. And Luke Riley's been hurt before against people in the past on Cage Warriors and stuff like that. So it's not out of the realms of possibility where Luke Riley gets hurt in a couple of rounds and Michael Aswell Jr. wins like a close decision. But realistically, you're probably looking at a Luke Riley finish. But I don't think I'll be putting it on because I have seen Luke Riley hurt before. He's got kind of fighter where it's like kill or be killed. And that's such a favourite. He's not massive favourite, but I just don't know. I think he's definitely capable of losing too, like his style. But very entertaining. I hope he wins. I'll be rooting for him, but I won't be betting on him. Next fight, the main event. You got Movsar Evloev versus Lerone Murphy. Another one where I could see it going both ways. I think both guys have a route to victory. Lerone Murphy is definitely capable of catching Movsar with a shot, and Movsar is definitely capable of controlling for the full 5 rounds. But I think the 5 rounds favour Murphy because it gives him more opportunities to land that shot. But I can see it going both ways, and I don't think I'll be betting on it. I'll just be enjoying it. I can't really pick a winner in this one. Obviously, I'm going to be rooting for Lerone, so I'll say if I had to pick, I'll go Lerone, but I think it could go either way. So let's have a look what bet we're going to put on. Here we go. So we're skipping the girl fights. Shamrock. It's an even money fight, but we're not going to bet on it. You could look at doing a couple bets on this, like underdog bets, but I'm just going to stick to the big favourites, I think, on this one. And I might like double what I'm putting on it, so I might put 20 quid on it instead of a tenner. So we'll go Mario Pinto. Don't see a world where he loses that fight. Even though I usually won't bet at these massive odds because I'm going to be betting on a lot of favourites. I'm going to just pick them to boost the odds at the end. Mantas Kondratovicius, I think we'll put him on. I might see what it is without him on though in a bit. Perisic, I think we'll put him on. Nathaniel Wood, Cater, we're gonna leave that one off. But you could have a little gamble on Nathaniel Wood if you wanted to. I think he's definitely capable of winning that fight. You've seen that with his last fight against Delgado, got through the rough patches and got the win, but how many times are you going to count on him doing that? Mason Jones versus Axel Sola, another close fight where I think it could go either way, so we're going to leave that one off. Next fight, we're going to back Curtis Campbell. I think he's going to go far, you know. Best thing coming out of the UK, what's already in the UFC probably at the minute, other than the big names. Next fight, we've got Roman Dolidze. I think we're going to go Christian Leroy Duncan on that one. Ivo Baranovsky, we're going to put that on. And then Michael Page, I think we'll put that on as well. We'll leave the Riley fight off, and we'll leave the Lerone Murphy Evloev fight off. And that, for a tenner, you're looking at getting like 58 quid back. So what I might do is, I might just, because I'm pretty confident in those picks, I might just put 20 quid on it for like 100 quid back. Let's see what it is if we take off Mantas. Because if it's 100 quid, then we might just leave that. Yeah, so it's 100 quid. So we might just negate a little bit of risk and take him off. Or I might put him on. Either way, it'll be close to that. So good luck on the weekend. Keep your eyes peeled for my Cage Warriors card. I'll be putting that on when the odds are out. Yeah, good luck, and if you liked this video, then subscribe if you want, and comment. I appreciate it. See you next time.